I'll throw out what I do. I don't think this is a Yoel Rabin, but I listen to Chazara. When I say Chazara, I mean Rabbi Yoel Kahn would Motzai Shabbos would say over the Rebbe's Farbrengens, and the Manichin, David Feldman in Hebrew and Simon Jacobson in Yiddish would write down the Rebbe's Farbrengens. And then on Sunday, after a Shabbos Dik Farbrengens, throughout all the mems, we have tapes from Mem Aleph until Mem Ches. We have 10 years of tapes of WLCC, Chaim Baruch Halberstam, and Shalom Rebbe. They had, Rabbi Yoel would sit upstairs and they would get him a coffee and he would sit there and he would say into the mic, which went on the phone to all of Chabad Center, went on tape, whoever wanted to listen in or buy the tape of the content of what the Rebbe had spoken on Shabbos. Sunday afternoon, he would say it. And I listen to Chazara very often on a Friday afternoon, setting the table, doing the dishes, cleaning up for Shabbos. I'll listen to Chazara. Now, for the crowd that I'm talking to, I don't believe this is so practical, but you should know, and this is something that I would highly want to advocate, and that is, there's a Yid in Crown Heights, sein gesund und stark, these are the four Shleimer, called Zev Katz, a guy of 770, and we have 10 years of tapes of him saying Chazara, Motzai Shabbos, the crowd of Balchuvas in Crown Heights that was sitting, attending by the Farbrengens and didn't understand fully the content of what's going on. They were there for the vibe, the spirit, the Negunim, saying L'chaim to the Rebbe, there's no question. But there was always a crowd, Motzai Shabbos, that would come, and a shul, I think it was on President's Connected, I'm thinking over there, I'm not sure, but he would go to a shul in Crown Heights, and Motzai Shabbos, we have tapes, it's about an hour long, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour long, of where he would rattle out the content, the highlights, the key themes, the message, the intro sichas, the Nyana Tigema, sometimes give over what was their mimers, if it was too difficult, not. But then he would give over the question and the answer on the Rashi, the question and the answer on the Zohar, the Pirkei Avos, whatever it was, and give over the sentiments if they're bekochtzich in something, and gave over basic content of Farbrengens. He starts
It was released, I think, recently.
A few years ago.
Yeah,
Zaydim put it
now,
out,
yeah.
and it is a treasure. He starts off like this. The Rebbe began the Farbrengens this afternoon, and he starts to say that this Shabbos is, and he speaks in a clear, slow, very, articulate English. And it is a treasure. I personally, have a hard time learning from klisheni and klishlishi, people. I'm not saying it, there's treasures out there, Project Luchot Sichas, Magidei Shiurim, and many Magidei Shiurim, and many people are doing a great job and doing a very good job explaining and clarifying. I always wanted to hear the klirishin, the pot on the fire, either the Rebbe or the video or the tape, or if you can't, because Shabbos, I find even that the Chazoras are more beneficial for me than even the Hanochas. That means I'd rather listen to Rebbe Yoel than read the Hebrew transcript from Teres Menachem, from David Feldman, because it's just more alive. Often you get expressions, not always. There's always omitting. He'll miss a word here, he'll miss a word in the Anocha, he'll change around an order in the Anocha. I just like to hear the sometimes I scribble down notes whilst I'm listening. If I'm doing the housework of Erev Shabbos or Motzai Shabbos, then I'm not writing notes, but I'm listening. And I just get the Farbrengens. And I'm just, where were we talking about?